And then I had to go for my run still. But I got the dishwasher done, or at least like washed and into the thing. And then we also got the that other stuff. Oh, they helped me tidy up the main floor as well, which was really good. So it's mostly we can like, please help me tidy up the main floor so that we can like go to the zoo tomorrow. So I did come down after we did that, and we did do some sewing. And so the kids could like do some iPad and like decompression time as well. And then, yeah, they just took a really long time to go to bed. Okay. There we go. Oh, right? Posted? Share. Nope. Now it's shared. Sweet. All right, so that is done. I am here. I'm just going to go onto the channel again on YouTube. Just get it like rolling just in case any chat doesn't come through. Okay, so what I was thinking is hopefully I can get the remainder of the seams done, like the remainder of the interior seams done, because then tomorrow I can take these upstairs while we're hanging out. And, oh, I'm out of bobbin thread. Quite a ways back. Yeah, I can take these upstairs and start boxing them upstairs. So that is the goal, is to get them sewn tonight. I got off that treadmill because I really had to pee, and then I was like, yes, I was smart and brought down a change of like sweatpants from upstairs. I'm like, yes, comfy, cozy sweatpants. So here we are. I am ready for bed, but yeah, I think 45 minutes will get us the majority of these seams, because we won't have to like, don't have to clip the other side or don't need to do anything else. It's just like straight sewing. It's literally pull the clips off and fold back the top edges so that we can actually get sewn underneath. Okay, it's the cat. Going absolutely bonkers. All right. Apparently the zoomies have hit. Late night litter box use. Anyway, my 5K 3-miler, whatever you want to call it. Well, it's 3 miles. Went really well. Just basically did sprints because I was like, I don't want to be on this treadmill any longer than I need to be. So just got it over and done with. And then, yeah, I'm excited to go upstairs and go to bed after this. But we'll get as many of these end seams done as possible, as I mentioned, because I think that these sew up pretty fast. I think I'll be able to get the other side done because like we don't have to worry about any clips or anything like that. It's literally just a fold back. I can do and then as long as I get to them to the point of being able to cut the box edges, I'm happy. And we can do the like extra tack down of the seam and everything like that when I get them back downstairs. Not a big deal. So And not an extra tack down to the seam, an extra tack down to the zipper. That's what it is. Because otherwise there's a gap between the interior and exterior. And so I want to make sure that that gets sewn up as well. All right, cat. He's just going for it. He is not a cat that usually throws himself around with abandon. So when he gets like the zoomies like this, it's actually kind of disconcerting because he's like a large cat and he's got the muscle to go too. So it's like, holy, all right. Have at it, I guess. Okay. Anyway, yeah, the kiddos, I set a timer and I was like, all right, tidy up until the timer goes off and then you can like have iPad time. Or if it's tidy before the timer goes off, then you get more time on the iPad sort of thing. And it seemed to work, although my eldest was pretty whiny about it to begin with. And then they got the magic wand and everything and they're like, oh wait, I can use the magic wand to help with this. I'm like, yeah, however you want to do it, go for it. You just need to help tidy up, please. And then they got the privilege of sweeping too, so they're very happy with that. Because the younger wanted to do it, but they need a diaper change instead. So I was like, well, the eldest gets to do it because if they'd used the potty, they could have swept, but they didn't. I'm like, I'm not quite sure what else to do. So, did talk to them about like what would motivate them, and I guess happy smiley faces would, and I'm like, okay. So I guess maybe a potty chart that they get to like draw smiley faces on might help. I don't know. But we'll figure it out. And we'll eventually get there. I just am done. All right, 4 more to do this last closed end of the zipper seam on for the exterior. And then we'll flip and do the interiors. Or clip and flip, basically. And when I mean clip is like actually trim the threads in between each of these chain pieces, because otherwise you can't really sew it together. So yeah. Doom 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 doom. Flim flon. How you doing, buddy? I think he's down here. I might just be talking to the ether too. Who knows? Last one for exterior seams. All right. So that means half the end seams will be done. I really struggled to get that like last 1.5 miles in on the run because I'm like, oh, I'm tired. And I still have work to do. So I made the whole like, well, I'll see how I feel at 2 miles. And then at 2 miles, I was like, well, like as soon as you tick over that last mile, it's like, well, I have less than 1 mile to go. So that's how I tricked myself into finishing my run tonight. Because I fully admit it. I'm like, okay, well, if I only get to 2 miles, whatever. It's still 2 miles, and that's better than nothing. especially since I already moved this run from Friday. But hey, if that's what I get done, that's what I get done. But then I was like, but if I tick over 2 miles, then I've got less than a mile to do. And at the speed I was running, it was like 13 minutes left. Then I was like, okay, I think I can do that. And there we did. There we go. I did it. So and honest to God, that is like so much of the battle with these longer distance runs is mostly just like the mental game. It's not even the physical game half the time right now. It's the mental, like, all right, you got it. I think. So much confidence. But that's the thing, like, and that is like the majority of this training for the half marathon is making sure that you're like just mentally ready. It's not even necessarily physically ready. So, and for me, who's a slow runner, it's like if you're out there for 3 hours, you got to have that mental like fortitude for it. So because that's like middling to back of pack sort of thing. And running can be lonely. Anyway, treadmill run went well, got it done, that's it. Neither amazing, neither bad, just done. And sometimes that's all it needs to be. Consistency over quality. Consistency over quality. As the name of the game. Same as anything, right? Consistency in showing up for the business, consistency in knitting, consistency in parenting, anything really. So, gotta remember that with the kids too, because it's like I've been a bit, well, the last couple nights have been rough. So it's just like, I just gotta remember, it's like, this is not all nights. My reactions are not all nights reactions either. And it will be better in the morning. That's part of why I'm like, I have to stop at about 12:30 tonight. Because I've promised that we'll go to the zoo tomorrow. And I do not want to flake on that tomorrow. Because I kind of did 2 weeks ago. Because it was like, we were tidying up and I ended up like just going overtime on everything. And I was like, fuck. So I want to have the time tomorrow to finish the tidy up for the cleaners. And to like, be ready to go so that we can be to the zoo fairly early in the morning, hopefully. Make sure we take sunscreen and the diaper bag. Woo! Pull the I'm gonna pull big chunks of this up like this because that's just gonna be easier. I think. Maybe. Who knows? So if you're new or this is like your first time watching me, I am currently prepping for Knit City Canada, Calgary, which is a show that's going to be basically in my backyard. It's usually out in Vancouver, but they're going to start alternating years with Calgary, which is super exciting because not having to drive out to Vancouver this year is fantastic. And not having to pay for a hotel. Basically, I reinvested that money back in the show then, so I sponsored them instead. But it is a nice little revenue boost in general, so hopefully it's a successful show. I don't see why it wouldn't be. They've got a massive draw, and honestly, a lot of the people that like travel to Vancouver are from Calgary anyway, vendors and customers alike, and then the people who travel out to Vancouver, it's the same idea. It's like really, there's not much difference between coming to Vancouver or going to Calgary. So anyway, I use Japanese fabrics that I purchase in Tokyo and Kyoto. And then I come back and I make obviously all the bags in my studio. And here we are. I've been really good about not doing a lot of late night sewing sessions this round of show season. But we're down into like full crunch time right now. So, and I just had Omatsuri, which is the Japanese festival in Calgary, this weekend, which went extremely well. and but that kind of put a kink in the plans, and the fact that it was like, all right, so this is like 1 week before Knit City. What are we going to do and how are we going to do it? So 2 weeks ago, I decided that I was going to cut a bunch of a new style of bag and sew them. I am still so shocked at how, like, we got pretty much all of those bags done. I'm still floored on that. So beyond the ones that had like obvious, like there are like 3 or 4 in timeout right now, whoop-de-doo, whatever. It was 28 bags of a new style, and it was like I was trying a couple different things for how to actually finish them up with the straps. So a few straps have to be fixed. And like just for the whole supply issue with the strapping and the whole like, yeah, it could have gone way more sideways than it did. So I'm very pleased that they got finished. And now we're gonna head down and try and get all of these finished as well. We'll see if that actually happens or not. Flin Flon, don't chew the plastic. Hey, get out of it. Don't chew the plastic. He's like, I smell stuff. What do you smell? Weirdo. Oh, it's because you've been sleeping on it, probably. It's just you. And the leather. I know. I know, you're a very pretty boy, but I don't think you've got the brain cell right now. It's an orange. Flynn is an orange boy, so. He has his moments of, like, utter brilliance, and then his moments of utter disbrilliance. Unbrilliance. Dimmest bulb in the light box? I'm not sure. Dimmest bulb in the box. There we go. Not the sharpest knife in the block. Hi. You are very pretty, though. Yes, and you put so much energy into growing your fluff. Yes, I know. You're a good cat. You are just also a doofus. Actually, I forgot about that. We used to have 3 cats, and the first 2, because they were much younger at that point and like acting like goobers, they were I titled them the Doofi. I forgot about that until just now. Yes, and that included you when you came into the fold too, don't worry. That one was like, I have been cut off from both my anchor points. See ya. All right. Alrighty. I think actually we are getting, well, we're probably about this will be about 2/3 of the way through, so I haven't kept track because realistically it doesn't matter. The only way through is through until I actually start sewing or like doing box edges or sewing them to get the box edges together, in which case I will be doing counts because otherwise I go a little bit squirrely. Because having those counts of just knowing, like having the very visual progress, even though you can see the pile diminishing, it's just nice to know at least approximately where you are in the pile. There's one large box bag sneaking in because it's a custom order. A lot of these fabrics have been in the whip bin for quite a while, We were discussing today that some of them are older than my kiddos, which on the grand scheme of things is not that old, but some of them are like double their age. And so they are, though, some of the last of their fabrics. When I start sewing the exteriors together, or as I'm turning them probably, I'll give a rundown of which ones are like the last or amongst the last of the fabric. Like this Hedgies, the little sweet face guys, the unraveling sheep here in the yellow. Those kinds of ones, there is no more of any of the colorways of them. So the newer fabrics, there's a little bit more. Sometimes. Depends on which one it is too. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, doom, doom. I don't even know where that went. Oh, it just fell on the bag below it. Watching the Fat Squirrel Speaks on YouTube while I was running, which was a nice like entertainment situation for me. I don't actually sit down to watch my knitting podcast very much right now, or much entertainment. It's like one of the few benefits to being on the treadmill, and yes, treadmill, is the fact that it's got a screen, so I can watch some of my like TV shows or like like YouTube podcasts or whatever kind of thing. So all right, I think, oh yeah, this pile then is the last of it. Sweet. So we're just about there, which is awesome. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, doom. Whee! Can I get like 3 all in a row here if I do this right? Oh, I think I can. It's basically like just stack them. Did I just cut 3 away with like 2 trims? Whoa, sweet, okay. Obviously I still gotta pull the clips, but whatever. Actually, that looked like it was like 4. Even better. Okay, so it's just like fold them up right there so that these guys like fold in, and then so that's 3. I bet you if I got the right side here, we would be better off. Nice. Okay. Oot. Almost done, almost done, almost done the trimming. Doom, 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 doom. And realistically, even if I trim a little bit of this seam allowance, it's not a big deal because it's all going to get boxed later, and you're not going to be able to tell the difference. Like, really. Boom. ready. All right, I was also going to, actually, that's perfect because what I'm going to do then is just like, I was going to do some buttons and keychains tomorrow night, but that's actually awesome because what I can do instead, or what I can do is I'll box the bags and then that'll be the stuff that I use to actually make the buttons and the keychains from. Although I don't know if I've got enough. I gotta go find the keychain supplies, I guess. Because I don't actually know where they are right now. I have a few. Not very many. But because I was like partially cleared out at Omatsuri, I'm like, all right, they were popular there, which is awesome. There we go. All right, all those threads are trimmed, so now just the clippity clips. And then we can go in and sew the other side. Also got to head out around 12:30 anyway because the eldest has been waking up at 12:30, so here we are. That's what we'll do. Now they might not tonight simply because it's like, I don't know what they like sleep cycles are like. They came in running in last night. They've got like multiple pillows on their bed because they like it. It's squishy. They came running in last night with their Disney Castle pillow, and I was like, "Oh, you brought your pillow," and they ran back out with it. I'm like, "You can bring it in." As they like came back in, they're like, "Oh," and they ran back out for. I'm like, "Do you want your pillow?" And they're like, "Yeah." Ran back out for it. It's like, all right. I just like that was the cuddly thing that they brought in with them for their like comfort item last night. Super adorable. Doom, doom, doom. I guess I should actually be paying attention to where the interior is falling as I'm sewing this. That might be a smart cookie idea. So we will try to make sure to do that. I'm just going to stack a bunch on my lap so I'm not constantly having to reach down into the bin to grab bags because that feels like counter efficient. Counter to efficiency. I'm not 100% sure. Apparently I should have been putting these in the bag in the bin with their exteriors up. I will remember that next time. Because that is the way we're going to be sewing them. Makes sense. Just like when we're sewing the exteriors, the interiors are up. Duh. Oh well. It's past midnight. I know I say I'm a night owl, but I am not night owl enabled right now because kids. And schedules that for some reason have to start so freaking early. At least we're heading into winter soon, which is going to help significantly because the big thing is that the kids are like, well, the sun is still up, so why are we going to bed? And I remember being that kid. God, it is absolute torture going to bed in the summertime here. Because like in our area, the sun is up until, or at least it's like dusky until like 11:30 at night. Even now it's like still at 11, it's still kind of gloaming. It's definitely dark now, which like at the height of summer or the like start of summer is not the case. Okay, that's as much as I can fit on my lap. There's still quite a few down there, but we'll start here. Yeah, but that was like, the worst. Why do I have to go to bed when the light is still like out? And I still am like, I still have a little bit of that hangover from that. or like leftover, like, man, I don't want to go to bed. It's still late outside. It's been really tough this summer. I don't know how I survived last summer, because I'm like, we're going to bed at like 9 o'clock this summer, and it's like, oh, I am exhausted. Like, because I know for sure we definitely weren't going to bed at 9 last year. Like, how did we do it? Don't get it. Did 1 year make that big a difference? Like, maybe, I guess. Probably. Hit 35 and like, it's like, all right, go to bed at 9. Boo. I'm still not a morning person either. It's more just I have to be up in the morning now. Oh, well, I was happy to do my run later tonight, because like that is the other thing that I definitely prefer doing at night compared to in the morning, is like running. So even if it was a treadmill run, it was still like really nice to run late. Even though I was also like, oh God, I want to get downstairs to sew. So many conflicting priorities right now. There really shouldn't be. My health, or at least my running, should be the top priority. But we're also like 2 and a bit days until, like 2 and a bit sewing time until Knit City. So I'm like, I just need to sew. Which is probably the reason why I also pushed harder on the treadmill, because I was like, well, let's just get this over and done with, and then I'm done and I can go downstairs. I was actually really hesitant about like even coming downstairs. I'm like, am I going to have enough time to get stuff done? And given that we've done like a quarter of the seams already, yes, definitely enough time to get stuff done. I know I said I was going to leave at 12:30, but depending if, as long as these all go smooth, I'm going to wrap up on the other side of the end seams as well. I don't know how many we're in. But yeah, let's get this done tonight. Because that was the goal for today, was getting end seams done. And then I can move it, like I was mentioning, all upstairs to actually trim them up upstairs while we're hanging out tomorrow. And blah, 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 blah. Lots of words, very little substance. So. Actually, it doesn't matter which side I sew these either. I'll just throw them under the machine. When I'm doing the exterior, I always sew the open end of the zipper first, because I find that it's more to manage, and then I leave myself the easier side, which is the closed sides of the zipper, for afterwards. But on the interior, it really doesn't matter, because I'm not sewing over the zipper anyway right now. That is a later thing. Rolling through, rolling through, rolling through. Looks like we could go to a wider field of view. There you go. Yeah, so get these wrapped up. Get the box edges cut tomorrow. And then we'll come back in and I'll run another stitch across the zipper here so that it doesn't have the gap. And then we'll sew the box edges, and we'll see how far I get. I would really love to sit down and wrap up on the mini traveler slings I got left behind. Mostly because I think having more of them is going to be to my benefit. I already have a significant number, but as I was talking about before, it pulled a lot of different attention, which was really nice, even at Omat City, which has already got a very different demographic than my normal shows, or at least the Fibre shows. So that was cool. Flynn is now chill and having a snooze. He's like, well, that was a good session of Zoomies. I am exhausted. I wonder if the sound of like the sewing machine is like comforting to them or not. It's going a little bit slower on this side simply because the machine does not like picking up the interfacing with the feed dogs. So, but that's okay. We can deal. I can deal. This is like the royal we. Bum, 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 bum. Resist the urge to turn the bag, it doesn't matter. I was mentioning earlier that typically I sew the end with the open end of the zipper first when I'm doing the exterior because I find it easier. But right now, since we're not sewing over the zipper, it doesn't matter which end I actually sew for the interior. I'm just like, but I was flipping them earlier in the sewing process and I'm like, that is a waste of time. Just sew them however they come to your hand. What I'm trying to do now. Not perfectly, but well enough. my youngest today. So I was picking them up obviously from daycare, school, like summer camps, blah, blah, blah. And my youngest, he's got like favorites that they really like, the teachers, as all kids do. But the teacher said, "I love you." And my youngest was like, "I love you." It's just like, oh, my heart. Like, what a sweetheart. Ugh. So fucking adorable. Anyway. And then as we were leaving, she said it again, and the youngest said it back. I'm just like, oh, baby. I love it so much. You could tell that the first time they said to the teacher was like, "Oops," like, is that like? It looked a little bit like she was nervous that I was going to take offense to them saying that they loved the teacher, and I'm like, hell no, that like is so good. I'm so glad. The more people that love them and they love, the better. It's also really awesome because like my eldest has definitely created a special connection with one of the teachers there. And so this is the one that apparently my youngest has created a special connection with too. So it's like, yes, we both have, and they're not the same teacher, which is probably good as well. So yeah, our eldest calls one of their teachers Nana, and their name's Leanna, but it's always been Nana. Doesn't matter. And apparently some of the kids have been going up to this teacher and being like, "Well, that's not your name." And Leanna's like, "Shh, I'm not going to say anything." Because I asked them to help Miss Nana pick up stuff the other day, and she's like, "Oh, like that you call me Nana with them as well." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, like I can call you by your name because obviously I know it." She's like, no. I want to keep the nickname. I'm like, oh, love it. So I think my eldest ends up being so basically they've got a split classroom. So the upstairs is like younger kids and then the downstairs is older kids. I think my eldest does go down to the downstairs classroom more this coming year, which is where this teacher is. So she'll be like teaching my eldest more and stuff like that. So that's awesome. I think that'll make things a little bit smoother because I told them that they're going back to school soon and they're like, "But I've been at school." I'm like, yeah, I guess you've been with the same group of kids mostly the same group of kids the whole summer as you are in the winter. So yes, what I said is like, yes, but you've been doing summer camp, which is like a lot more play, right? Soon you'll be starting school. Totally getting called out by my 4-year-old. But I've been at school all summer. Yeah, I guess technically you're right. On a technicality. Which tells me maybe I can't decide if next year I should look for like some different summer camps for the eldest. Because next year will be the 3rd year that they will have done it, and it's the same themes every year. Or at least it was the last 2 years. So now I'm like, okay, do I get them into a new summer camp or do I leave them? I think I might do a new one because I think it might be good to be like educationally stimulated, but I don't know, because obviously they're also comfortable where they are, and well, mostly comfortable within reasonable bounds of discomfort, mostly because I think a lot of their friends that they normally play with aren't there right now, and they'll be back in September probably, maybe, who knows. I don't know how it all works. Obviously, my busy season is right now, but I guess if you're like a teacher or something like that, you don't necessarily need as much care in the summertime. So. But I am kind of leaning, so there's like a gymnastics summer camp, which would be awesome, or like maybe even towards something that's a little bit more like STEAM, so like sciences and stuff like that, as well as arts. So like I'm like, is that something maybe I need to look into for next year? But it's like, they will be going, well, I don't know if they'll be going back there, actually, that's true. So the kindergarten registration is fairly competitive. If they need the supports like the eldest has been getting, they're more likely to get in, just because it can then continue the same care with the same providers and everything like that. But yeah, I don't know what to do. I guess I will figure that out in the next like 9 months or so. Just a rambling tonight, my goodness. Okay, now the question comes down to, it's almost 12:30. Do I go in and wrap up on the other end seam, or do I call it and finish tomorrow night? No, I don't want to do that. Do I call it and finish what I've already completed? I really want to get all these end seams done today. Okay, maybe I will go until like 1. And if we sleep till 7, that's not bad. And I'm definitely, that is the nice thing about doing my run in the evening, is it's like I am tired. So once I go to bed, I will be like passing out right away. So I'll have an early bedtime tomorrow night. Yeah, okay, we'll go until 1. And then hopefully 1, or whenever we finish end seams, basically on both sides. Whichever comes earlier. Because yeah, these definitely aren't taking as long, but it's not like they aren't taking time either, so. Wish there was a way to get like them on deck a little bit easier instead of having to stop my sewing every single time. That would be nice. going, going, going. Hey, Lord, you too. I think I'm out of bobbin thread. Yep. How far back was that? Damn it. Oh, not bad. Okay, sweet. Come on, go through the hole. Yay! There we go. Yeah, we definitely want to get these done. I just realized I need to get straps done for the Kato before hand too, actually. Whoops. So let's definitely make a good push on this. And then hopefully I can get another like 2 12-hour days or so, like last week that Dallas was home, in on these, because I think that's what they're going to need. Because realistically, we got quite a bit of work done in like the 6-hour period. Like a lot of work done, a lot of fiddly work done. And a lot of the fiddly work now is not, or a lot of the work left now is not fiddly, so. There's still a lot of work, but it's not like, it's time consuming. It's weird. It's weird. That's the best chalk up I can do. Okay, I think with this too, I don't actually need to trim these apart. I'll just go in and like, we will pull them all back to this side and then just throw them through on this side of the actual, through on the neck side of the sewing machine instead of on the sewing desk as part of the sewing machine. I caught myself with those itty bitty snips. Yay. It's like as bad as paper cuts. Yeah, go back. Thank you. Now go forward. Sewing along on end seams. I know I said if you're coming from Instagram, I know I said it was going to be on for about 45 minutes. Obviously I'm still here. I've come to the decision that I'll be on until probably about 1 o'clock or wrapping up on the seam ends. I don't know if I'm going to finish up on these in 20 minutes, but you know, I'll be a lot closer if I just continue on for even 15 minutes extra, so. So close. And I really do want to get these done so I can get, I guess I could always like box 3/4 of the edges. That would actually work. So if nothing else, I'll take them upstairs and I'll start boxing the edges tomorrow anyway. I just will have to do the last like set after the other end seam is sewn, which is fine. That's still progress moving forward. Yep, they just collapsed onto my legs, so you know, good. They've escaped the containment behind the desk / sewing table. I honestly thought it might have been a cat for a moment. Oh boy. So small box bags, straps, the mini traveler slings if I can, the last kato that needs to be like just top stitched, swap the handle on one of the Shiba bags. So I'll take the Shiba bag up with me actually, and we'll do that tomorrow as well. So seam rip out the handle because it's just on the wrong end of the bag, and I am not seam ripping out a zipper once it's been top stitched in this situation. And if you're like, Katie, why are you even taking out the handle? Because the zipper is running away from the handle instead of towards the handle, so that's why I gotta go in and fix it. Otherwise I wouldn't even be doing it because it's not a directional fabric. But I royally fucked it up, so here we are. We'll fix it. And Shiba Inus should come too, because they are it's a really good, it's that retro one with the retro signs, so. Okay, yeah, if nothing else, I'll get these end seams done, and then we'll throw as many through as we can before 1 o'clock, hopefully. And then I am going to bed. Holy. Actually, I might just, no. I think we're at the point where it's like, I will finish these end seams. And then we're going to go to bed. I'm going to go to bed. So I don't have disappointed kiddos in the morning. Stack of what it looks like about 15 left, and then calling it for the night. Oh, I don't know if that's a bobbin run out or if I caught it wrong. No, just caught it wrong. Good news is I shouldn't have to, it doesn't look like I'll have to change the bobbin again tonight. You need to get out of there. You need to get out of there. Big old fluff. I need to clean out the feed dogs to Wednesday. I'm going to ignore it for now unless it starts causing problems. Which that was not a feed dog problem. That was the pieces were too far apart, and so the chain piece didn't get to it just broke the thread. Which is one of the things I find is a danger of doing chain piecing. But it's all good. Just pull the bobbin back out and keep going. Alright. Just about there. Just about there. Alright, so the goal was to get all of these end seams done tonight, as I've been mentioning. That's not happening. I need to go to bed. But what I am going to do is I was going to leave cutting the edges until everything was done, but instead I will take these upstairs for tomorrow's work and work on them while I hang out with Dallas and the kiddos. And then yeah, and then we'll do the last seam, and we'll only need to trim out like 2 more box edges. So basically we'll be able to get 3/4 of the box edges trimmed hopefully tomorrow, or at least, I don't know, however many we get trimmed, it really doesn't matter. And then we'll keep cranking along on Wednesday, and hopefully I've got enough time to finish off the last couple things that I also added to that list, like the Kato straps, which are in dire need of a restock. And the mini traveler slings. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. An hour. So yeah, so what is that, like 8 hours combined today to get trimmed, twill cut, twill clipped. That took a really long time for this amount. And then like 3/4 of the seams sewn. That's pretty good actually. So I probably have about, what, an hour left to do the other side of the seams. That's not bad. That'll end up being what we wrap up on first. Then on Wednesday is seams. Then we'll trim the rest of the box edges down. And then we'll start finishing. Now finishing will take quite a bit because basically it's like 8 little box edges that you have to sew together afterwards. But you know, worth it. That did not catch that fabric on that side. Can already tell. Virtual Cafe. It looks like 4 or 5 after this one. The pile on my lap has definitely gotten lighter, so that's a nice improvement. There we go. Three more, 3 more, 3 more. Woohoo! Oh my goodness. Last one for this end seam, and then yeah, bedtime. So tomorrow I will not be online, but I will be doing work, basically boxing all these edges. It means that I'll be cutting little squares out of the corners so that then they can be sewn back together to make the bags into box bags. And then Wednesday I will come down and yeah, so hopefully I get that done tomorrow, or mostly done tomorrow. And then on Wednesday I'll come down and we'll finish off that last seam and cut the last of the boxing, and then we will start sewing it. So exciting times. Not much more to say than that. This is just gonna go in a bin, and it's gonna stay down here for now, so I don't have to worry about it like getting in the cleaner's way tomorrow. I guess is the biggest thing. So can I accordion style them all together? Let's find out. It looks like I probably can. Or I can within reason, at least. They don't fight me too much. As they start to fight me. Fight. Fighto. There we go. I think we might just pull it off. By the very skin of my teeth, I might pull it off. Who knows? Okay, I'm gonna just do that stack there. I can have a couple stacks in this bin and life will be good. I see that sushi fabric. Now I'm like, I want sushi. Actually, it wasn't the sushi. It was like, I am craving wasabi of all things. It's like something that like that very distinct like nose burn spice. We have curry at home though, so maybe we'll make curry. Actually, I've got red lentil curry already made, so maybe that's what we'll have for dinner tomorrow night. That would also be tasty. It is not wasabi, but it would be very tasty. So it's in the freezer, and Dallas is like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "It's curry." I've got like in a Ziploc bag. All right, just prepping these to go upstairs. May as well put a little bit of prep work into them because then I don't have to worry about it in the afternoon. Home. Okay, trim it at the corgis. Delia, don't scratch. Hey. Leave the kids. Hey. Leave it alone. Dude, stop. She loves to scratch upholstery, and so she's already destroyed the kids' chairs, but she does not need to destroy them more. It's like, ah. I'm glad that she soft paws around me and the kids, so like we've never actually been really, like we've been accidentally scratched by our cats, but we have not had a lot of scratching incidents. Even with like if the kids got a little bit like rougher, but she does really like to scratch furniture, table legs, upholstery. Remy used to like, so I call her an up scratcher. Typically she likes to like scratch up things, so hence the table legs, and like the edge of the couch. Remy was what I termed a down scratcher, so his favorite thing was actually the really like rough like doormats and stuff like that. So he had his own little special doormat on the stairs where we had set up like the other cat's preferred method of scratching. It worked really well. It meant that he didn't scratch, well, he still scratched other places, but not to the same degree as he would scratch that like doormat. Where is it? Oh, right. Yeah, it's over there right now. Alrighty. There they are, all folded up. They're going in the bin right down here, and I will be taking it upstairs tomorrow. It needs a pair of shears. Boom. There needs to be shears in there, and there needs to be the template, if it's here. I think I've got one. Don't know if that's it or not. That's the big bag. Large box, which we also need. And large box, which we could technically trim down for the small box. That also looks like a large box cut. It's because it is. All right, so actually my small box was absolutely destroyed the last time I saw it. So I'll trim this down to be the correct measurement when I get upstairs. And then I'm going to use the friction pen because you're not going to see any of this. It's all going to be on the interior and trimmed off anyway. And there we go. All right, so we're getting there. I think we'll get there before Knit City this weekend. I will chat with you all on Wednesday. Subscribe to me on YouTube or follow me on Instagram, or both preferably. This is my marketing thing. If you subscribe to me on YouTube and hit the bell icon, then you'll get like a notification every time I come on live. And I always post a story on Instagram when I am coming on as well, or I'm already on basically, because then I get the link directly to the live. Instagram is also where I'm most active for like posting all the other stuff that's kind of happening as well. So anyway, I hope you guys all have a fantastic day, morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever, whenever you are, and I'll chat with you all soon.